Seattle. This is my first time in the United States. The orientation of the hotel industry. Today was, for me, very, very cold day. And then I bought a jacket. So far, I'm enjoying the trip very, very much. I really didn't feel it was bad at all. This is very weird. But I'm having a lot of fun. Well, I'm here today to talk to you about entrepreneurship. So my name is Dalia Al-Said. I work at, I'm currently an entrepreneurship expert in global marketing program about USAID. We help catalyze and build an education system for Asian entities. So I worked in many jobs before, and I'm really interested in access, managing and access. How I went into entrepreneurship in a long journey. I probably experienced a technical background and but now I'm helping women to that easy. Well, how it started with the women in these lives is really 2 years ago, Egyptian people hit rock bottom, and things were very, very bad in every aspect of life. Poor people kept getting poorer, rich people kept getting richer, and the politicians were greedy as hell. So all of a sudden, a young group of people decided to make a Facebook page. They made this page as in the memory of a young guy who was killed, brutally beaten by 2 police officers in the street out of doing nothing. At that time, it was possible for anyone to have such an accident. Okay. So they made this Facebook page, and all of a sudden it has like 1 million fans. They called out for a protest on the 25th of January, and everyone was on the street. They were like clapping in the streets and calling out for people from the balconies to join the protesters. They walked around the greater Cairo, Alexandria, Upper Egypt, everywhere in Egypt, people were protesting. The Egyptian people were suddenly in the street protesting against the regime. So, as expected, things started to get nasty. Police started to get in the street. People started to get killed. But as a result of this, what happened is that they opened all prisons in Egypt. When prisons were open, all criminals were in the street. Everyone held hands and held each other to protect themselves because there were no police in the street. So my neighborhood, everyone in my neighborhood was a police officer in this place. Young men were patrolling from rooftops to make sure that no one crosses by the streets or comes around the street if they don't know them. You have to declare yourself before you get into any street. They made like checkpoints to check each car and distributed. I don't know how they get it. They distributed walkie-talkies to deliver the cars or the personnel from one to this car has been through me and it's checked, it's clear. Let it go through. So it was an amazing time. I built relationships with my neighbors that I never had before. So it was an amazing 18 days, and things went well, and the regime resigned, everyone resigned. And we started a new course of life in Egypt. So one of the activities that followed the revolution is that a spark of entrepreneurship happened. People started to feel that they can do something different. People started to believe, especially the youth, that they can change the world. They have changed something that's been there for 30 years. They have never seen something else. So they started doing that. So at that time, I was working for Interview. It's a VC. When we started at Interview, it was a VC with lots of money, but it was a startup because we didn't have any investments yet. We didn't understand what a VC is, what entrepreneurship is, so we tried to learn everything. We went to every activity, we read every article we can find. We attended all the events happening around the Middle East, and when we felt that it's okay and the time is good, and we understand everything, we started to look for entrepreneurs. This is the timeline. I'll go through it in every step. So we started to look for entrepreneurs. And one of them, yes, I forgot this, one of the obstacles I had is that it's a man's world. My job is always men. So this is a picture of one of our activities. If you can pick me up, yeah. Here I am. With the face. So this is how things used to be. And yeah, we're trying to make a difference, but still. So this was my first challenge, but so you have to, when you work for a VC and starting to build something like this, you have to stay late, you have to travel a lot, you have to work extra hours, you work very hard, but usually this is not easy for anyone. But we're trying to do. So when we felt that we can really start, so we started looking for entrepreneurs. So we looked around. We had none, not a single team, or not a single person. Entrepreneurship, of course, is out there since people have been doing business, fail, do another business, and be very successful, but it has never been formed and defined and accelerated. So what we try to do is build, we try to throw a few meetups and tweeters to just check what people will feel and how will they react to this. So we tried. This was a picture of one of our first meetups. It was very nice. People started to network and communicate, and they started to build relationships and started to do something. But yet, we didn't feel this is enough at this stage. So one day, I was sitting at the office with my colleague, who I really consider a mentor, Hani, and he was like, "What are we going to do next? How are we going to handle this? We don't have a good pool." So I was like, "Let's do a starter weekend." He was like, "I'm listening." Said we can do a starter weekend and we can invite lots of